I didn't always know what was being snuck into the house because he did have a tendency to sneak oddities into the house without me knowing.
Give me a sense, sir. In fact, give me a full list of the type of things that you brought into the house.
Well, I think, Judge, there's too many to list them all, but some of the more interesting ones are there's a six-legged lamb. That was born that way, didn't live too long, and then it was taxidermed.
What other things did you collect?
There's some Tibetan ritual artefacts, a human skull bowl. In the middle, that's a Chinese executioner's sword from 1890.
Are you telling me these sorts of things were hanging around the house?
I wouldn't necessarily say hanging around the house. He has a room called the freak room.
And there we've got the Mary had a little lamb with 6 legs and a variety of also... Is that a 2-headed fox?
Yes, Judge. His name's Woof Woof.
Now I need to brace myself. In mid-July 2019, what did he come home with, please, Sally?
He came home with a ventriloquist doll.
You bought a ventriloquist dummy head, correct?
I was given it, Judge.
Who gave this to you?
It was a militaria dealer who I had bought stuff off in the past.
And why do you think this person gave this particular thing to you? For free, I presume?
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Why did he not like it?
He said it was quite active.
Active in what sense, sir?
He'd had cases where the glass cabinet it was in, the door had opened on its own.
And it had a name. What was it called?
It's called Mr. Fritz. It was made by an American prisoner of war who was in Stalag 2B during World War II. He'd been a ventriloquist before the war. He'd made it with things he could find around the camp just to raise morale, to raise spirits. And I think the name Mr. Fritz was a bit of a poke at his captors.
Understood. Now, there it is.
Oh.
I'm going to give it... Yes, I can see you don't like it over there, Sally. Now, Sally, if it's going to what's called affect you or cause you any anxiety, I won't ask for Mr. Fritz to be produced. Are you able to stand there and be OK whilst Mr. Fritz is in court?
I'll be OK, Judge.
Would you prefer, for example, Peter to stand in between you and Mr. Fritz? Peter, would you mind?
I want to stand there.
Sorry? You're too scared.
Yeah.
Peter... Michelle, would you mind?
I'll do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Can I see Mr. Fritz, please?
You'd like to see him, Judge?
Yes, please.
He's horrible.
Are you happy to unveil him? Thank you.
If you're happy, Judge.
I'm perfectly happy, yes. Lord. Hello, Mr. Fritz. Well... Michael, what was going on in the house when you brought him home?
Well, I don't go into the freak room every day. When I did go in, I'd noticed that the door on the cabinet was open. So I made sure it was shut. And it was happening repeatedly. I'd go into the room and the cabinet door was open when I know it had been closed the night before. So I'd spoken to a friend of mine and he says, "You want to get a camera on it?" So we set up a GoPro over 2 nights and we'd noticed that not only had the door opened at around about the same time every night, but the eyes and the mouth had moved as well.
Oh, pull yourselves together. Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.